Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, what is Communication PT2? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. What is Communication PT2? A few months into my new tech job at a small MSP, we take on a large client who has their own in-house IT. We were given an admin account in their domain to handle T1 support, and a few sysadmin responsibilities. They then hired a system administrator of their own about 6 weeks into our contract, and he took on some of our responsibilities that were more suited for a sysadmin to handle. As time went by, he continuously, and unbeknownst to anyone, also changed our account permissions around, making our job difficult and resulting in various meetings where this needed to be addressed, since it was a breach of contract. By the point in this story, our shared admin account was decommissioned, and we were given individual admin accounts with limited access. I'll leave it at that. Now allow this tale to do the rest of the talking. $SA equals sysadmin. $Tech equals one of our clients' IT personnel. $CIO equals client's CIO and boss of $SA and $Tech. $Me equals me. $Boss equals my boss. At this point into this ordeal, we've had at least 3 to 4 meetings where we've addressed our grievances with $SA's behavior. Each meeting would start with both sides bringing up any outstanding issues on other subjects, and then we'd dedicate 5 to 15 minutes towards the end solely to talk about how our account permissions changes were getting out of hand, and how it is in turn affecting their users and their patients. The client is in the healthcare field. Each and every time, the conversation would go as follows. Boss, okay, so now that we've wrapped everything else up, we once again need to discuss what we're going to do about our account's permissions being manipulated without our consent. SA, remember that your accounts are in MY domain. You guys no longer need access to XYZ, so the access has been removed. Just forward those tickets over to us, and I'll take care of it. Boss, SA, users are getting frustrated about us being unable to resolve their issues on time because of us not having access. CIO, I believe you understand that in the end, you're going to end up taking all the flack for this, so this needs to be remediated for all of our benefits. CIO, yes, I understand. I've been swamped and haven't been able to speak to SA about this. SA and I will speak about this offline and make sure you don't have this happen again. Don't you just love false promises? Anyways, before we move on with the story, I want to clarify something that many of you are most likely thinking now. Why is SA not reprimanded? Why is he still employed there? Simple, unless SA does something that would directly invoke HR's intervention, CIO is the only one with authority to fire him. And why doesn't CIO fire him? Because as a C-level employee, he will always claim that he needs to fit 12 hours of work into an 8-hour workday, leaving him no room to deal with SA. In the end, tickets were being handled, issues were being escalated with appropriate urgency, and the other department managers were, probably, not receiving enough complaints to warrant a meeting with CIO. So, with that being said, SA was essentially allowed to let loose. But you'd be out of your mind if you thought I was going to let this ruin my life. As time went by, we noticed that SA was no longer attending meetings. But Boss and I were not letting him get away that easily. I kept track of each and every ticket that we were unable to resolve due to our permission changes, and I sent Boss weekly reports comprised of all these tickets. Every month, he would then consolidate these reports and have an offline conversation with CIO solely to complain about SA's misconduct. I'm not entirely sure what verbiage he would use during these meetings, but he told me he tried his best to go over each and every ticket in that report to really let this sink into CIO's head. So, if a user was ever to complain to their manager, or to CIO directly about a ticket taking too long to complete, we now had solid proof to show that it was a direct result of SA misconduct. It was only a matter of time. One day, I get a call from DollarTech while I was at the trouble desk. Dollar me, hey DollarTech, what's going on? I already had their personnel's extensions memorized, we were on the phone all the time due to our constant escalations. DollarTech, hey DollarMe, I wanted to inform you that we're going to be passing the duty of patching workstations back to your team. DollarSA passed it on to me, but I'm getting swamped with getting users set up to work from home due to, insert certain 2020 pandemic. Workstation patching here is not a lot of work, but I can tell that it'll end up slipping my mind and I can't have that happening. Oh, so DollarSA bit off more than he could chew? Interesting. DollarMe, of course, no worries DollarTech. Can this hold off for a day or two though? We're going to have to review the patching policy that was set in place before DollarSA came on board. I want to make sure that it's up to date. DollarTech, sure, the sooner the better, but no rush. Let me know when you're ready to transition. Fast forward a few days, policy was reviewed and signed by both parties. We regain access to the server that manages patching. DollarTech and I then schedule a few screen share sessions, so he can go over the new machines that they added, and the new patching schedule they set up. Workstation patching was done once a week between the hours of 9 p.m. and 4 a.m., which included security updates and third-party updates. Pretty standard stuff. DollarTech mentioned that he and DollarSA had also been pushing out third-party updates during the day as long as they did not require a reboot. His reasoning was that he wanted to ensure that their browsers were always up to date because he didn't trust his users browsing the internet while remoting into their machines from home, where they're not being supervised. Sure, their domain, their rules. After the call, I email him to get confirmation that it's okay to push out third-party updates during the day, and I get a response saying that it is fine, mentioning the same reasoning as above. Cool, I'm covered. Everything was smooth sailing for the next 2 months. Patching was going fine, we were now accustomed to escalating the appropriate tickets, and DollarSA had not messed with our accounts at all. But of course, nothing gold can stay. One day, I push out a Google Chrome update to 7 workstations in the late afternoon. These machines were offline the night before and didn't receive the update. As the update is being pushed out, I get a call from DollarSA. First time I've spoken to him since his last meeting. DollarMe, hey DollarSA, how's everything? DollarSA, all is well, I just wanted to ask why there's an update being pushed out in the middle of the workday. DollarMe, oh, it's just a third-party update. 7 machines failed last night, and they needed to have their browsers updated. DollarSA, yes, but why is it being pushed out now? Why not at night? DollarMe, well, DollarTech said that you and he both did this when. DollarSA, DollarMe, I would never in a million years authorize an update in the middle of the day. Are you kidding me? I know DollarTech wouldn't do that either. I don't know why in the world you would think this is okay. I stay silent, thinking. Was I set up? Was this a trap? DollarSA, don't worry, I stopped the update, have a good day. At this point I'm appalled, confused, and most of all, disappointed at myself. Pushing out an update in the middle of the day is never good practice unless it's urgent. Why did I do it? Was I wrong to do it? Not even a minute later, I get a call from my boss. $boss, why the at $$ did I just get a call from $CIO saying that you pushed out an update in the middle of the day? We never, ever do that. What's wrong with you? DollarMe, $boss, you have to understand, this was a standard pros. $boss, this is never standard procedure. I've never instructed you do something like this. I'm literally furious. DollarMe, it's standard procedure for them. When they passed this responsibility onto me, I got explicit consent from DollarTech to do this for security reasons. $boss, calming down, wait, are you serious? Are you sure you have proof? DollarMe, yes, I'll send you the email from DollarTech now. $boss, but I thought DollarSA was in charge of patching before you? When was it passed on to DollarTech? DollarMe, DollarTech told me that DollarSA couldn't handle it and passed it on to him, and then he passed it on to us. $Boss, finally realizing that $SA was behind this. Wow, okay. Send me the email, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it, it's not your fault. $Me, sure, sending it over now. And just an FYI, there are no reboots scheduled for these updates, and no one sent in a single ticket about this causing an issue. The complaint came straight from $SA. Boss, no need to say more, I'll handle it. Thank you and sorry for yelling. Just to clarify, when $SA and $Tech were in charge of patching, they were indeed pushing out these updates in the middle of the day, as it was pre-approved beforehand by $CIO. I found logs that confirmed this and also sent these to Boss to prove that I was not the first to do this. After this incident, Boss contacted the CEO and CFO of the client and scheduled a meeting with them along with CIO. I could tell this was the last straw. The result of this meeting would determine $SA's fate. Would we all finally be free from the grasp of his paranoia? Would he finally be released into the wild and sent to ruin another MSP in place of us? Well, it turns out that in IT, there is no place for this type of naive thinking. So no, $SA stayed. The CFO and the CEO saw how well everything was going based on the number of tickets that were being closed, and how minimal the complaints have been, and deemed that we should keep everything as is. According to them, we just need to work everything out. The minute I heard this, I marked a day in my calendar as put in 2 weeks' notice. A few days later, I called my boss and explained that I wasn't cut out for this, and that I was leaving the company in an effort to find a position in my true career path, software engineering. He understood completely, knowing that the previous incident would have caused anyone to walk out. Out of sheer respect and appreciation for my colleagues and my boss, I put in a month's notice before leaving, instead of the usual 2 weeks. This would give them enough time to find my replacement, and allow me to transition my work to them and my other colleagues. I ended up staying an extra week on top of that just to help clean up a few things that were on my account. Since leaving, I found a new position as a software engineer at another company. Boss has contacted me with other software developer side gigs that his contacts have sent him. He has truly been a blessing in my life, and he has taught me more than I ever expected to learn while working for an MSP. It's unfortunate that this incident pushed me away, but at the same time, it really made me realize how much I disliked working tech support in a toxic client-contractor relationship.